Study released by Northwestern reveals a new pattern of behavior linking an authority figure's online behavior and a shift in political violence. Researchers examined data from the January 6th riot at the Capitol, and Professor Brian Utsi from Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management is one of the lead researchers, and he's with us right now. Doctor, thank you very much. Welcome to the show. Tell us first of all, what was the intention? What did you set out to find out, and how did you go about learning what you learned?
Yeah, great questions. So look, here's the big picture. Worldwide, people have just become much more suspicious as to whether toxic language online spills over into the real world. Basically leaving us all vulnerable for, harm and violence. But that problem has been really hard to study. Why? Because you don't always know who says what online, so you can't attach it to a person. And you don't know if the people who commit violent acts in the real world have even listened to or know anything about what was said online. So there's always been this data gap. January 6th helped us solve that data gap. Why? Because the entire event was recorded in intricate detail. There was all the tweets that President Trump said that day and their content. There was all the Stop the Steal tweets, which was basically the way the people in the crowd that day communicated with each other. So we know what they said and when. We have all the video data around the Capitol, when it happened, where it happened, for how long it happened. And all of that data can be coded to know when there's violence, what kind of violence. Is it pushing? Is it punching? Does it use weapons of one kind or another? Clubs, guns, chemical weapons, and this entire horrific act, therefore, can be used to help us study when leaders say something online that's toxic and divisive. Can it turn a peaceful protest violent?
And you were able to make a direct cause and effect link through this study?
So scientifically, we cannot make a direct cause and effect link. To do that, you have to run an experiment. That means you'd want to have a control group and an experimental group and maybe two capitals and two different events. Can't be done. But we do use a methodology called Granger causality, which comes from the hard sciences, that basically allows us to look at whether a time series of events at one time predict the time series of events that come at another time. And if that time series of events, one can predict the other, it's consistent with the fact that one might be triggering or leading the other one to happen.
Interesting. So what I want to know then, alternately, does the research suggest that Trump could have caused less violence by encouraging his supporters to act more peacefully, or is that too hard to be able to track?
Oh, again, great question, Ray. I wish we were able to do that. Again, we don't know because Trump never actually did that. But it would be consistent based on the data that we have that shows the sentiment and the timing and the length of Trump's tweets are leading violence in the crowd, that tweets that would have potentially done the opposite rather than inciting the crowd may have also been able to cool them off.
Okay, we just have about 30 seconds left. Tell me, what did you come away with in terms of bottom line actionables based on what you learned through this study?
So I think what this study told us was there really is a connection between what happens online and what could happen in the real world. And when it does happen, it could lead to real lethal outcomes. I think it also gave us a chance to look at a case where the expectations of people weren't just from scientists looking at the event, but came from outside. Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy, the police officers that were there felt that there was a connection between what Trump was saying and instigating violence at the Capitol that day. And our results would be consistent with those expectations.
And this study coming out the day after Election Day. Dr. Brian Utsi, thank you so much for sharing the results of this study, and glad to have you joining us.
Thank you again, Ray. Pleasure being here.